Hey, it's Tracy again. This is my Decaf Honda 1978 Honda-matic project bike. You can see here I've cracked open electronics. I had a problem with the instrument gauge I replaced almost over a year ago, where the neutral light was always on. So I went through the bike, looked through all the different leads. I'm going to be selling it this week probably, so I figured the owner, in case they're curious, these things just sort of pop off on the side. That's this one. You just pull out with your hands. You can go through. I went through all the fuses, found these connections not used, which I'd seen before. Didn't find anything that looked like it was shorting. So let's go look on the other side really quickly. That's the battery. That's where the battery control switches are. This is the first and neutral gear shift indicator wires, which means they'll ground if you're in first or second. And that's important for later on. Alright, so here's the problem. The neutral light is always on, which means in a bike sense there's a positive line coming here in through here. The neutral light is always on. You can see it on there. And the problem is the bikes and autos generally share black leads to everything. So this is my black power line. These are first, second, and neutral grounds coming in here. First, second, and neutral grounds. That's my power. And the problem is neutral was always grounded. So neutral light is always on. So if I shift through all the gears, neutral light stays on. This has been baffling me for a long time. When I ran through all the meters, I determined it was always grounded. So what I actually needed was a switch circuit. Because I know that neutral and first were working, the lights were working when I hooked them up to independent leads. So if it was in first or second gear, I could get a light to go on. So what I wanted to do was make a first and second shift, first or second, cut off the power in this other line. I spent a lot of time researching this. I used this book, Practical Electronics for Inventors. Wasn't very practical, lots of technical jargon, too many parts that are very similar. I eventually found some great internet help. After I had flailed at Radio Shack and bought tons of parts, I bought a bunch of relays, thinking that might do it. I did a bunch of research last night on YouTube, and turns out relay is exactly what I wanted. This is a 4-pin relay for a car. This is a 5-pin relay for a circuit board. I actually need a 5-pin relay because I'm switching 2 lines. So this one happened to be an 8-pin relay. So instead of the videos I saw, I had to get creative with this, but it's clearly marked here, the wiring diagram. And I'll do a better job showing this with another diagram. But basically, all I had to do was commingle first and second, because those are grounds, connect it here. That's pin number 8. Then I connected the power, the black line, the commingled black line, to pin number 7. So that's my switch. That's the thing that's going to go on or off, on or off. Next, I connected to pin 1, the neutral line ground. That's this green and red here, standard for Hondas. And then I connected it to another black lead that actually went up through the LED. So what'll happen is the LED will get power through the black, it'll come back in through the neutral. This will be on, but only when you're not in first or second. Because once you get in first or second, you can pick whichever switch you want. It will actually move the switch. And here's what's really neat about the relays and about this particular relay. Look right here, we're going to show you how it works. It's a mechanical thing, and it has coils. And the coils build up charge from this line here. So once there's enough line charge, which happens within about a tenth of a second, the magnet moves and pulls a magnet over and now connects or disconnects your switch. It's really that simple. So these 2 lines are not commingled at all, they never touch, but there's just a magnet connecting, disconnecting. So here we go. So I'm going to put the bike on. Neutral light is always on. I'm in neutral. Now I shift up to second. First, I don't know if you saw that move. Back to neutral. It moves. First, neutral. First, neutral. And when we come up here, that seemed like it came out. When we came up here, we'll do the same thing. Neutral, first, second, first, neutral. Done! I spent hours trying to research this. I don't know why it was so hard, but relays. Relays are your friend when you have a weird problem like this. You might argue I'm kind of working around the problem, like why didn't I find the ground neutral corruption? Well, I didn't see anything obvious like that, and I think it might be more that the way this whole speedometer is wired, that it's changed something a little bit. Like it's a strange bike. It's got a parking brake and some other shutoff, so I think something else is going on. So I'm just going around it, and it totally works. The device will now work, and I'm really happy. So now I'm going to sell it. That's the last problem I have with the bike. I'm going to be a little sad. I'm going to pack it all up, and we're going to have the first viewer today. So we'll see. All right, thanks for watching.